The unexpected price of freedom. I never thought I'd be in a position where calling the police on my own parents seemed like the only option. Yet there I was, standing on my porch, watching my father's face turn that familiar shade of purple I'd known since childhood, a color that always spelled trouble. Behind him, a moving truck sat in my driveway like an unwelcome intruder, filled with their belongings they'd brought without invitation or permission. "Ethan, you can't do this to us," my mother pleaded, her fingers clutching my arm with a desperate familiarity that made my skin crawl. Those same hands had both comforted and controlled me throughout my 32 years of life. I gently removed her grip, my throat dry and heart pounding against my ribs. As a police officer approached with a clipboard, my father's rage echoed across the neighborhood, his shouts about family loyalty and ingratitude piercing the air. My journey to this moment began years ago. As the youngest of 3 boys, often referred to as the afterthought by my wine-loosened mother, I'd always lived in the shadow of my successful siblings. Adam became a surgeon, Jake an investment banker. Both married young and bought impressive houses in prestigious neighborhoods. Meanwhile, I became the family joke, perpetually renting a modest apartment that prompted my father's annual holiday quip. "Still paying someone else's mortgage, Ethan?" What they didn't know was that I had been quietly building my own success story. While working my way up at a software company, I lived well below my means, watching my stock options grow. That small apartment wasn't a symbol of failure. It was my secret act of rebellion, my private victory. When I finally closed on my dream house, a beautifully renovated craftsman with lake views, I decided to reveal it dramatically at a housewarming party. The looks on their faces when they realized I owned the house were priceless. My mother's hand flew to her mouth, my father froze mid-sentence, and my brothers exchanged confused glances. "You bought this?" my father asked, his tone wavering between disbelief and accusation. I savored my response. "All cash offer, no mortgage." The silence that followed was sweeter than any applause, but my triumph was short-lived. A week later, they arrived unannounced with a moving truck, having sold their house without warning or consultation. My mother breezed past me, directing movers as if she owned the place. "The master bedroom is upstairs," she announced, while my father clapped my shoulder and assured me they'd help with groceries. When I confronted them, their response was telling. "We're your parents, Ethan. We figured you'd want to help us downsize." The assumption that I would bend to their will, as I always had, sparked something in me. For the first time in my life, I said no. My father's response was to call a locksmith, declaring, "We'll see who's staying where." That's when I made the difficult decision to call the police. The aftermath was explosive, to say the least. Extended family branded me the villain who threw his elderly parents onto the street, conveniently ignoring that they were healthy people in their early 60s who had sold their home without a backup plan. When I discovered they had tried to move in with my brothers first and been refused, the hypocrisy became clear. The final straw came when my mother withdrew $22,000 from a joint account she'd helped me open when I was 17. Her justification? Family takes care of family. I told her to keep it, consider it payment for showing me exactly who they were. Then I blocked their numbers, closed the account, and began the process of healing. Months passed, and I gradually rebuilt my life on my own terms. I painted walls in colors my mother would hate, bought a massive TV, and watched action movies at full volume. I made new friends, like my coworker Ryan and his family, who accepted me without conditions. My neighbor Gloria taught me about gardening, offering simple kindness without strings attached. Jake, my brother, eventually reached out with an apology and an invitation to a barbecue. We're slowly building a different kind of relationship, based on mutual respect rather than obligation. Adam remains distant, still demanding I apologize to our parents, but I've learned that not all relationships can or should be saved. When my parents sent a Christmas card months later, acting as if nothing had happened. I neither responded nor discarded it. Perhaps someday we'll find our way to a new relationship with clear boundaries and mutual respect. Or perhaps we won't. Either way, I'm no longer waiting for their approval to live my life. Standing on my dock that New Year's Eve, watching fireworks reflect across the lake, I realized that the $22,000 they took was the price of my freedom. And it was worth every penny. Sometimes the most valuable thing money can buy is the courage to walk away, and sometimes the family you choose matters more than the family you're born into. The peace I've found in my lakeside sanctuary, surrounded by chosen family and true friends, has taught me that love shouldn't come with conditions or price tags. And while I still occasionally dream of the family I wished for, I've learned to appreciate the life I've built, one where I no longer need to apologize for taking up space, where my boundaries are respected, and where peace finally feels like home. Wow, what an incredible journey of self-discovery and standing up for oneself. If you found this story as captivating as we did, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more fascinating tales from Reddit's most popular threads. Whether it's family drama, shocking confessions, or unbelievable life twists. 559 Whispered Truths brings you the most intriguing stories that will keep you hooked from beginning to end. Don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts on Ethan's decision. Would you have done the same in his situation? Let us know and stay tuned for our next gripping story. Reddit stories. True stories. Life lessons. Whispered truths.